Hello children, I'm happy to be meeting with you this day for this family meeting, this videotaped family meeting. The reason we've chosen to do it on a videotape today is because last night your mother and I had a very interesting and very important discussion about each of you children, and we said to each other, you know, we have the 7 most wonderful children in the whole world, and it's so important that our children learn all the joys and all the responsibilities that we want them to learn, and learn them well so that they can be happy and give joy to other people and be leaders for the right. And we thought about this quite a long time, and really your mom always is the one that has the best ideas, and she had really a good one last night. And it doesn't change the way our family system works, it just makes it a little better. And I'm going to explain that to you here today in this little meeting. And I think you'll all be very excited about some of the things we're going to talk about, because there are some very big rewards connected with this new idea. Now here's how it will work. I'll explain it to you briefly, and then we'll just talk about it a little when we're finished. I'll use this pen as a pointer, and I'll just use this little chart. As you know, each of you have a pegboard, and on the pegboard are 4 pegs. Now we've decided that in order to help you feel even more excited about these pegboards than you already are, we're going to assign points to each of these pegs, and I'll show you why those points are so important in just a moment. Each peg, as you can see, the morning peg worth 10 points, the practicing peg worth 10 points, the job peg worth 10 points, and the evening peg worth 10, for a total of 40 points every day possible. Then we add to that another 10 points for what we do each night at the dinner table. For example, on Monday, as you know, it's speeches, and on Tuesday it's interesting things, and on Wednesday it's the question game, and so on. And so each evening there's a possibility of an additional 10 points for what you do at the dinner table. So when you add all these together, of course, that comes out to a total of 50 potential points every single day. Now, those 50 points become very important because they add up to a very important reward. I should mention, by the way, children, that this point system is only for the children that are grown-ups in our family. In other words, those who have passed the age of 8 and been baptized. However, don't you other children worry, because there's also a system involved here for you smaller children that will help too. And I'm especially thinking of Sadie, who will soon turn 8 years old, and as soon as she does, she'll slip into this system as well. But let me go on and show you why it's so important to have these 50 points each day. Not only is it important because it helps our family to work well and to be happy and to have teamwork together, it's also important because of what it leads to. Let me show you what I mean. Turn that right off, Jonah. That's a boy. Okay. Now, as we talked about, there's a possibility of 50 points every single day. Now if we times that by the number of weekdays in a week, 5, then that means there's a possibility of 250 points every week. Now, 250 is a key number because every one of those points represents a penny. And so if you have 50 times 5, 250 points at the end of the week, then you will have $2.50. But 250 is a magic number because if you get up to that, then it automatically doubles. Now if you had 240, you'd only get $2.40 at the end of that week. But if you went to 250, then you'd get $5 instead for that particular week. Now, you might say, well, gee, that's a pretty tough system, because that means if I miss anything, I won't get the 250, because that means 5 days with 50 points each, which is a lot. That's a perfect day every day. Right, Jonah? That'd be pretty hard, don't you think? Right. But there's something else. There's a bonus. You remember on Friday at our dinner table, instead of just doing interesting things or speeches or whatever, each person in the family shares something that they have learned during that week, or that they've accomplished or done. Some good examples would be a poem that you've written, an original poem, or a story that you've written that you share with the family, or a new idea that you have learned about that you can explain well and carefully, or a new picture that you've painted. but something very special, not just something ordinary. And that would be worth up to 50 points, depending on how good it was. If it was really exceptionally good, it would be 50 points. On the other hand, if it was just reasonably good or not too good, it might be worth 5 or 10 points, or it could be anywhere in between. And so those points would be added on to how many you'd received each day. Now that's quite interesting, because that would mean that you could miss a few things during the week and go down to maybe 230 or 220, and then you might pick up enough points on the bonus on Friday to get you up to 250 so that your money would be doubled. Now what does that mean? Well, 250 doubled goes up to $5. And then we're also making a new addition for you older children. Every week that you accomplish all of your goals that you've had on your Sunday session, and of course you older children will do that with your Eyres Realm books, and you'll have very organized goals. And if you get all of those goals accomplished, Jonah, sit down and behave yourself, kids, and listen carefully. This is important. Then you get $2, you older children, for accomplishing those goals. And again, the real blessing and the fun of achieving goals isn't so much getting the money. That's secondary. What's important about it is that you feel so good inside when you reach your goals. But at any rate, the $2 would be an added bonus. So in a good week, you'd have $5 from your points. You'd have another $2 from the Sunday session, which would be $7 a week. And in addition to that, you older children could have some more money coming in from units by picking up clothes and putting them in and getting a nickel or a dime for each one of those things that's put away. You also get studio money a little more than once every month, as you know, and of course you older girls also get babysitting money. So there's a good chance that you could do extremely well and really get a lot of money in your bank accounts and keep earning that good interest that the Eyres National Bank pays on all of your savings that are in your checking account. Now, you smaller children, you've been wondering, where do I fit into this program? Well, the answer is you really fit into this program through your tutor. Now, as you know, you smaller children have a tutor every month. This particular month, I'm Sadie's tutor, Shawnee is Talmadge's tutor, Saren is, I believe, Noah's tutor, and Josh is Jonah's tutor. Now, if you're not 8 years old yet, what happens is that you get 1 bonus point. Now this isn't for your little children, it's for the tutors, you see. For example, Josh, if Jonah gets all his pigs in on a certain day, then Josh will get a bonus, 1B, 1 bonus on his score, because he is Jonah's tutor. Now also Josh will get another B or another bonus if his 2D does a good job on whatever happens at dinner, either a speech or the question game or whatever it is that day. So see, every day Josh might get 2 bonus points for what his 2D, Jonah, has done. And if at the end of the week there's 8 or more bonus points accumulated, then that would be doubled. That would be doubled, you see, and that would go up from, if it was 8, then it would be doubled up to 16. Now, each of those points turns into a dime, and the dime is given to the tutor, like if, let's say it was Jonah, and he got 8 during the week, and so that was doubled, and so he got 16 bonus points. Josh is the tutor, so Josh would get a dime for every one of those 16 bonus points, which would be $1.60. And you know what Josh would do with that $1.60? He'd give it to Jonah, because Jonah is his tutie, right, Jonah? And then you'd be happy about that, because you'd have that money for the daddy date store or just whatever you wanted to do. But see, the people that get money in our family are those that are over 8 years old. They're responsible, but they'd give their bonus money to the child that was their tutie. And so there's a real incentive there. And again, just to review that, the little kids get a bonus, the tutors get a bonus for their little tutie every day that all their pegs in. They also get another bonus point for every day that those little tuties do a good job on their speech. And so that can add up to a total of 8. Also, Daddy might, or it could add up to a total of 10. And but if it was over 8, it would be doubled. And Daddy and Mommy might also add some extra bonus points to the little children if they received something, if they did a particularly good job on their Friday thing, when they share an idea or something they've accomplished with the rest of the family. Don't bump the camera there, Jonah. Now sit still, you kids. I can see you through this TV screen, and I can watch every one of you and see how you're doing. And by the way, I'd just like to take this opportunity to say that I sure do love you. You're all as cute as you can be, just sitting there watching this television and watching Daddy. Now, there's the dinner bell, so I'll have to hurry, but here's how this would work. Every evening we're going to have a little stack of pieces of paper. They won't be quite this big, and we'll have a big box to put them in. And every day at the end of the day, before you go to bed, you older children, you adults, Saren and Shawnee and Josh, take a piece of paper and you write your name on it. This is an example of Saren's. You write your name and what day it is, Monday, in this example. Then you put how many points you received that day. And you write that down. And then I forgot to tell you one other important thing. This is kind of interesting. You can lose points. You can actually lose points. I'm going to have to change that to a 10 and that to a 40, because every time that you're involved in an argument, any kind of an argument or a fight, because remember, it takes two people to fight. And if you're involved in an argument or yelling or hitting or anything that's an argument, that's something that's against the peace law of our family, then by golly, 10 points has to come off. So in this example, Saren earned 50 points. She got all her pegs in and did a good job at dinner time, but she was in one argument, so she lost 10 points, so her total for the day was 40. She'd just write this on a little slip. Plus, in this day, her Tootie, in this case it would be Nobi, got 2 bonus points. And so she'd put 40 plus 2B. And then she'd put that slip into the box, and at the end of the week, on Saturday or Sunday, on Saturday actually, because that's when payday is. Payday is Saturday. You've got to remember that. Saturday's payday before we go to the Daddy Date store. We sit down and we take out all these slips and add up all of Saren's scores. And there's also a slip in there for her bonus on Friday when she did her sharing of an idea or a speech or, you know, something she'd created like a poem or a story. We add them all up, and if they come to more than 250 points, then she gets them doubled. And right then she gets that money into the Eyres Family National Bank or right into her hand part of it so she can take it to the Daddy Date shop. Now I think you children will really enjoy this system. I want to tell you that your mother and I, we just, and of course all this is subject to Mom's approval. She's the one that really worked up this idea, and I just kind of put it on this videotape for you as your father. But I want to tell you that we love you children so much, and we're hoping that this will be a system that will make our family even better than what it already is. Now, just for fun, before we finish, I'd just like you to all sing a little song with me here on the TV, and it's our special family song, and I hope you'll all sing with me, because if you don't, I won't sound very good. Okay? Here we go. The Eyres are a family of love and hope and pride. They have a certain unity that cannot be denied. They love their house and love their school and feel so truly blessed. They love their friends and neighbors too, but love each other best. Now, I'd like all of you to say the family motto. Can you get it? That's right. Okay. Now I'd like all of you to say the family slogan. Good, okay? Now just remember, kids, this is a great new system and it'll work, and I appreciate your attention. If you have any questions, you can now ask your dad or your mom. Signing off. See you soon. Children, we've just eaten dinner, and while I was eating, there was one more thing that came up that I need to explain that'll make this whole thing a little bit more clear. You remember when I said you could lose 10 points every time you were involved in an argument? Well, let me make that a little bit more clear. Actually, as you know, we have 5 family laws in our house. Boys, now be quiet. One of them is pegs. And we've talked about pegs here today and how much they're worth and how important they are. The second one is order. And we have a system for order where you can get money off of people if you put away their things. But the other 3 laws, all of them you could lose points for. The one we mentioned, that's peace. If you're in an argument, you could lose 10 points. But even if you're not in an argument, if you talk mean or if you hit someone or if you do something that ruins the peace in our family, you could lose 5 points. And Mommy or Daddy would say, you just lost 5 points or you just lost 10 points, depending on how bad it was. Now also we have another law called asking. And if you break that law, if you don't ask, if you go somewhere or do something without asking that you should ask to do, then you lose 5 points on that too. You can lose 5 points there. And the last one is obedience. If you fail to say yes, Mommy, or yes, Daddy, and don't obey when you're told to, then you could learn 5 points there. So there are 3 different ways, asking, obedience, and also peace, where you could lose 5 points or even 10 if it was serious enough. So as you work on getting your 50 points each day, remember to be careful not to break any of those 3 laws so that when you fill your slips out at night you never have to take anything off. And one final thing, I should have mentioned that the little children, they don't lose 5 or 10 points because they don't get points, they get those bonus points. And what they would lose is 1 bonus point each time that they broke one of those laws. And so for them it's especially serious because they only get a couple of bonus points in a day, and so if they start losing them, then they really don't have much chance to end up with many. Or if Mom and Dad didn't think it was too serious, they might just lose a half a bonus point if they broke one of those laws. Now for Saren and Shawnee and Josh, just as one final thing, remember that as you kids finish a day and as you go sign these little slips that I've already described to put them into the special box to be totaled up that Saturday, all you have to do is write your name, the day, total up the points and the bonus points, and then before you put it in you have to have Mommy or Daddy just initial it. That'll show that it's official, and then you can go ahead and put it in the box to be added up on Saturday. Okay, well now that we've go do that again, Joe. Go do that again, Jonah. Now that we've done that much, I just have one more thing to do. I want to show you how I eat a little boy. Here we go. There, he's all gone. Anyone else want to be eaten?
I want to do it again.
I've already eaten you. You're gone.
No.
You're all gone. I do wish I had some dessert, though. I'd love some. There's some dessert. All right. Oh, there's some more dessert. All right. Okay, turn it off, Josh.
Daddy, we're going to see that on the TV.